This story is not about determination and trying hard and overcoming obstacles. It's about accepting that my vast dreams cannot come true, and that no matter how hard I try, I will never be able to do everything. Mm. Hmm. We should do more.
I want to make things. I really like learning things. I want to make things. I want to make things. I want to create. Let's try something new. Let's do everything. I really like learning things. We should do more. We should like learning. We're not doing enough. Let's do everything.
We'll do it, fine! And then it was fine, until it wasn't. It started small, when I made this to-do list, and you see, my to-do list is long. And it's also similar to a video game backlog in the way that it kind of never really ends. Every cool new thing I found I'd added. I'd tell myself, yeah, I can do that too, why not? Which started to fill me with a quiet dread and despair that I never would be able to do all of it. And in an attempt to fight the impossible, to fight God, my own mortality, I raced the clock, always keeping time, trying to use every second to achieve those impossible, endless goals. I would read to be more productive. I would study Japanese to make a video. I would do game dev. I would journal. And now, when I looked back, it's kind of funny and morbidly sad that half of the entries in my journal consisted of lock in, lock in, lock in. And I locked in for a time until the Tower of Babel began to crumble. The truth was that I was doing too much, juggling a million things and dismissing any part of me that wanted a break. I told myself, this is the grind. I love these things. I can't not do them. But slowly, things started feeling off. I couldn't value the time I spent with others, as a devilish part of me whispered that it was a waste of time. And when I did pencil in time for myself, it was hard to justify it if it wasn't working towards some obvious beneficial end goal. Oh, a video game? Gotta record that, or play for a backlog video. Oh, playing an instrument? I'll be great in 10 years, it's gonna add up to something at some point. Oh, reading, I'll only let myself if I can get some kind of video at the end. Everything had to be productive. If not, I was racked with serious guilt. And I still think about it sometimes, unintentionally, how I yearn to be a machine, a perfect simulation, just load up the tasks, execute, no errors, no slumps, no tiredness, no doubts. And while I was doing all this, I also challenged myself to track my time, which is still pretty useful and not very time consuming as a challenge or a thing to pick up, so I kind of recommend it, but anyway, thankfully, a good thing about keeping track of time was that I could really tell that I was doing like 50-hour work weeks, and it was just, a lot. And those hours was not even counting like a bunch of other stuff I still wanted to pick up. So what I was trying to do back then to fit all these hobbies and skills in, I realized that it just wasn't gonna happen. And yet I was still telling myself, if I just push a little harder, I can be everything I want. I just couldn't. And at some point, I might have broke down, and honestly, this is something that's kind of embarrassing to admit. I don't really like to talk about super duper negative emotions like that in a public space like the internet, but yeah, that happened. And even then, when I was crying and just like having a total meltdown, I didn't even realize what I was doing wrong until I talked to a friend who pointed it out. That this whole thing wasn't sustainable. It wasn't healthy, it wasn't human, and that I needed to take my life in a different path, with more balance. And that's when the revelation finally settled in. I couldn't go back to what I wanted to be anymore. It would be a disservice to myself. And so I went onwards. Not fighting God, or my own mortality, or trying to become a machine, but instead, I tried to live like a normal person. And so I started trying to change. I dropped a class I couldn't manage. I'm trying to spend more time with friends. I promised myself to stop adding big new hobbies. This one's kind of hard to do given the fact that my whole channel's based around it, but I'm gonna wait till the summer, until, to start something new. Okay, shut up. Anyway, it's still hard. I still struggle, but I'm doing a lot better these days. And speaking of struggling, there's another trap I fell into after realizing all this, which is telling myself, oh, if I can't do it now, I'll just do it in like 5 or 10 years. But it's a bit of a sin against myself. It keeps the delusion alive that I could do everything, just later. The truth is, none of us are promised that. And I shouldn't just pretend that I could do everything later, because, at some point I might be like 80. Where's the later then, So I'm trying not to do that as well. So nowadays, I'm just trying to make the most of what I have right now. I'm trying to live, be present, do less. It's a strange promise. People value thinking of the future. It's like the thing people stress to you. Think long term and shit. But it kind of made me live in that future, ignoring everything else around me. And now, I want to live in the now. Oh man, that is really corny. And if you got this far, you probably liked this video. So if you want these videos to come out faster and better, consider supporting my Patreon. Or support me by watching this video where I talk about my experience reading a book a week. It's one of those things that was actually pretty worth it, even with this whole thing hanging over my head. Alright, bye.